We've got some music that is reminiscent of Vietnam. As we see an aircraft taking off that served mightily during the Vietnam conflict. It is flown today by Paul Wood, Warbird Heritage Foundation. He formed it in December of 2003, though his interest in aviation began as a young child and has continued on to this day. The aircraft he is flying is the McDonnell Douglas A-4 Skyhawk 2. The Douglas A-4 Skyhawk, originally called the A-4D, was conceived to carry an atomic weapon under its belly on a one-way suicide mission if World War III ever took place. Yes, designed only to carry a nuclear bomb one way. But it turned out that the initial 3-year production run scheduled for the aircraft wound up lasting a total of 29 years. Let's watch as Paul Wood comes through in one of the most remarkable aircraft ever built. The inverted path. Earlier today from the fighter factory, we saw the Douglas Sky Raider. It was designed by Ed Heinemann. It was a very small cockpit and a very big plane. But when the Navy made the request for this aircraft, Ed Heinemann came up with a design that was so good, it came in at literally half the weight specified by the Navy and still flies nearly the speed of sound. It's known as Heinemann's Hot Rod. Look at the roll rate on this airplane. We are seeing right there a 360-degree roll rate. That's one roll every second. The maximum roll rate of that aircraft is actually 720 degrees per second. That is faster than any unlimited aerobatic aircraft flying today. Paul Wood will come back in for a 4-point hesitation roll next. It was also named the Scooter, or the Phantom Bomber, powered by a 9,300 pounds of thrust Pratt & Whitney J52 turbojet engine. Paul Wood stopping the aircraft every 90 degrees of rotation. The aircraft is so small that it doesn't need to have folding wings to fit on the deck of a carrier. The wingspan is only 27 feet 6 inches. It's 40 feet 4 inches long. That's small for a fighter as well. But the height, 15 feet. It can carry a lot underneath it. Empty weight is just about 10,100 pounds, but fully loaded, it can actually have a maximum gross weight of 27,000 pounds. So it can carry more than its own weight in munitions and fuel. It was designed in 1952, and even though it was remarkably light, nothing had been stripped from it to make it work. It was easy to fly, but it was a deadly foe in combat. Here's the flat Skyhawk, you'll see the instrument panel in front of the pilot, and then there are cutouts for where his legs would go down to the rudder pedals. And it was so tight that they had to put leather around those cutouts so the pilot wouldn't cut his legs on the metal instrument panel. Photo pass from the right.
Just kidding.
Holds airline transport pilot and certified flight instructor certificates. He's got over 5,000 hours of flight time and over 1,000 in military-type jets. He was a member of the United States Navy Legacy Flight Program for several years. And besides flying the Foundation Warbird from the Warbird Heritage Foundation, he has his own Cessna citation and an Aviat Husky single-engine airplane. The A-4 Skyhawk was tremendously economical, and for a number of years was actually flown by the United States Navy Flight Demonstration Squadron, the Blue Angels. If you're old enough, you may remember the Dreams video that was on the music video that features the A-4 Skyhawk flown by the Blue Angels. In the carrier configuration path, look at the long landing gear and look at the length of the tail hook coming down the back. Super Hornet demonstration from VFA 106 right here at Oceana. Following that, Gary Ward will be up to perform in his MX-2 aircraft.